You're not getting one
Not
of me?
even one.
Not one?
Not even a henna?
Not right.
She might have one. She might have one. It might be hidden. Might have it on the booty cheek.
That's what you gonna go with?
A tattoo on the booty cheek is more powerful than one right here.
Is it though? Is it?
Every time she has sex, the dude has to look at the name.
Yeah. See, I knew that. I knew where it was going. You know how, like...
What?
I didn't see that yet.
That's a good spot.
Yeah, that's
I was like, hey, we get it there. You don't have to get anywhere else.
You have to get over. Just get on your butt.
That's mine.
Yeah. Get on your butt. Or your back, lower back. Or that new dude gets to see it.
Cody, look. It all
You see the sicko thinking about it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
I understand it now.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. We hope that you had a great weekend. On today's episode, we're going to recap Game 2 in the Golden State Warriors' impressive performance during the NBA Finals, and of course, Steph Curry going off. But before we do that, I'm joined here by Complex Sports editor, Mr. Adam Caparell. Cap, how you feeling, brother? We're having a great tattoo debate. Nancy, approve any of your tattoos?
Nancy does not approve of tattoos, and I don't have any, so.
You don't have any tattoos?
No.
The guy that has, you said 2 tattoos of yourself, and you're wearing a T-shirt of your... 4 tattoos of yourself. Okay, Mr. Gilbert Arenas.
I liked me. I'm a self-indulged.
I can't knock. You also have a T-shirt of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This that face. This that what LeBron James is giving to my. I gotta play with these motherfuckers.
I gotta play with these guys. And it's funny that you mentioned LeBron. We have an Ohio native in the building. Well, Cleveland fan, as you mentioned before. Cody Garbrandt is in the building. You're preparing for UFC Bantamweight Championship rematch with TJ Dillashaw, which will go down on August 4th, UFC 227 at Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. You also have a new book on the way, The Pack, a UFC champion, a boy with cancer, and their promise to win the ultimate battle hit stores last month. Cody, thank you for joining us here on Out of Bounds, brother.
I think so.
Welcome.
Yeah, you're fitting right in. We're having a tattoo conversation.
I don't fit in, so.
You don't fit in?
I don't fit in.
Yeah, you're fine. You're good.
You're
good. Yeah, all right. Did you
know your flaws.
Speaking of flaws, you take the over last night.
We were advised to take the under. Gil and I thought about going in together, and thank God we did not.
So in a game where Stephen Curry hit 9 3-pointers and set an NBA Finals record, this guy almost took the under. But okay, aside from that, the Golden State Warriors defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers last night, 122-103 in a Game 2 victory to take a 2-0 series lead in the NBA Finals as things head to Cleveland. The Warriors never trailed in this game and led by as much as 23 points. Stephen Curry went for 33 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds. 9 threes was the NBA Finals record. Tom Habestraw had a great stat. Stephen Curry hit 9 3-pointers in Game 2. During the 1991 NBA Finals, the Chicago Bulls hit 5 in total. So it shows you how much the times have changed since then. Kevin Durant chipped in with 26 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Klay Thompson with 20 points as he's been hampered by a lateral left leg contusion or ankle injury, depending on who you ask. LeBron, 29, 9, and 13 assists. Kevin Love, 22 points and 10 rebounds. So Golden State Warriors, 2-0 series lead. We know how Game 1 went down when, Mr. J.R. Smith thought they were ahead or, didn't think they were ahead. Gil, what do we make about the Golden State Warriors and taking a 2-0 series lead to Cleveland?
I mean, it was expected. Like I said before, that they needed Game 1. Game 1 is always the most important because, if you're the visiting team, you have really no pressure on you. And the pressure is always on, the home team. So when a series starts, it's usually the home, the visiting team. That's the easiest game to win.
Yeah. Cody, J.R. Smith had some interesting words after last night's game. He mentioned that he played pretty terrible. He was single digits once again. I mean, it's tough to play worse than you played in Game 1, considering how everything went down. And the Warriors fans were chanting MVP to him. So obviously they were being very, very petty. What do we make of your Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 2?
It was a rough one, last night. They got to come back and defend the land. We finally get some momentum. Hopefully get a win, get going. And, that's what they've seen later in the series. They do well with the momentum when they're, driving and winning and doing well and letting LeBron kind of take lead. And they do well. So the momentum, they need to catch it, get a win here.
People in the Midwest have so much optimism because he sounds very optimistic as things are heading back to Cleveland.
You're a Cleveland fan. You should be used to
optimistic.
Throw that out there.
So optimistic.
We're going to win these.
Yeah, we got it. Go back, win it.
Got it all figured out. This is LeBron James' mastermind plan. This is what I'm going to do.
A ton of optimism for a team that never led in this ball game. Cap, what do you think went wrong for the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 2 aside from Stephen Curry going off?
Well, I mean, obviously not play great defense considering the fact that the Warriors finished shooting 57% from the field. I thought the biggest tell was that when David West is hitting a three-pointer in the corner at the end of the third quarter, that is a terrible sign that the series is not going your direction. So defensively, obviously not a very good game for the Cavaliers. Warriors shot amazingly. Steph Curry went off with the obviously NBA record for 9 3-pointers in one game. Obviously, he is the clubhouse leader right now for MVP honors. So, yes, you chalk this up to a bad defense.
Go ahead.
Clubhouse leader for MVP.
Go ahead.
On what? Oh, for
the series.
No.
For the NBA Finals.
No. There's a guy averaging a triple-double with 40.
He's on the losing team right now. When's the last time?
I don't care what.
When is the last time that someone on a losing team in the NBA Finals?
I don't
MVP
care.
honors?
He's not the front runner because his team is winning. He's averaging what?
He is the front runner right now.
28. One guy's averaging what?
LeBron,
40 what?
No, I'm going to give you the stat right now.
40. I'm doing the math right now.
I'll give you it right now. You ready? LeBron is averaging 40, 10.5, and 8.5, and he's down 0-2. How is he winning MVP honors?
He's MVP candidate.
Give the stat line you just gave.
40, 10.5, and 8.5. Okay?
There you go.
Did he not win? Did he not win when Andre Iguodala won?
And then next in line is averaging 28.
Who went up for 33 in the NBA record, 9 3-pointers in the finals.
With 3 other Hall of Famers on his squad. Also,
I get that, but still, I mean.
Game 1 when LeBron dropped 51, I believe 6 other players in NBA history have dropped 50 points in the finals.
I'm going to counter you right now. All the cowards of my brethren in the media right now will not vote for LeBron MVP if he doesn't win. So what are you going to
do? We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Cody, what do you think the mood is for Game 3? We talked about your optimism. Is there a sense in Cleveland and in the Ohio area that if the Cavs get swept, LeBron will bounce again this offseason?
You know, I've been hearing rumor, as that might happen, but I don't know. We were talking backstage, and I think that it's he'll stay. You know, he's got nowhere else to go.
Yeah. Are you saying that because you can't leave Cleveland twice? You can leave once.
You leave one time. and they burn jerseys.
They went crazy. It was. I mean,
you leave again, motherfucker.
Did you burn a LeBron jersey?
I knew what LeBron was doing. He was chasing rings and championships and greatness. So I'm a fan of LeBron James. He went down there and did his thing and was able to come back and bring a championship to Cleveland. What more can you ask for this?
He gets a pass eternally now for bringing you guys a championship.
Oh, man, he gets a pass, yeah. He's the man.
I think fighters can attest to this appropriately. So whenever you're fighting, you may get into situations where you get knocked down and you have to face adversity and you have to come back. For a team like Cleveland, what advice would you give them heading into Game 3 to kind of shake these 2 games off and go play well in Game 3?
Yeah, you gotta have a short memory, in this. You can't, be too high off a win. You can't be too low off a loss. You gotta keep that balance and just, find that balance of, we got these rest of these games in the next series to look forward to and control what you control on you, and that's on you.
Yeah. So Gil, I'll throw it to you for this question I have, kind of just summing up Game 2. With the Warriors having a balanced attack from the big 3 and all the guys that can score, I mean, even though we kind of gave you Draymond grief about having 5 points and
he had 5, 8, and 7, I think was
MVP type stat line. What can LeBron do to counteract what the Golden State Warriors are putting out there?
LeBron himself can't do nothing. I mean, he's LeBron.
Okay, gotcha.
He's going to do as much as he possibly can, but the problem with Cleveland is these players are you have one job. Mm-hmm. You have one job, and your job is to shoot open shots. So my thing is what the fuck are you guys doing in practice?
Yeah.
Fuck all these buying these players suits and looking fucking great, walking through the fucking tunnel. Buy them assistant coaches, shooting coaches.
Buy a new shooter.
Shooting coaches that sit in this fucking gym. In the playoffs, 500 shots a day, that should be mandatory. Mm-hmm. If your ass is going to be shooting in the game, 500 threes or jumpers a day. Practice on your own skill level. I don't think these guys are actually practicing on their own fucking talent. It's LeBron's going to create all the shots for us and all I have to do is just sit in this corner. No, that's not how basketball. Work on your own fucking individual game.
But haven't we seen that time and time again in the playoffs, especially on the road now for the Cavaliers, where it's they just expect they expect LeBron to be Superman, and then maybe ride his coattails way too much.
That's the problem.
But it's why hasn't the mindset changed at all now that you're in the NBA Finals?
It's too late. I mean, you've been riding his coattail the whole season, getting all these easy shots. It's you have to create your own offense. You have to be able to create your own offense because when he can't create it, he needs you to create it. And you're sitting there doing pump fakes, move one side to one dribble left.
Just say his name, J.R. Smith. Just say his name.
One dribble left, shoot it, test it three. Come on.
But what you're alluding to is that they're missing a Kyrie.
They're missing they're missing creators. Yeah, Kyrie was very important because in the half court, he was the guy that created offense out of nothing.
Yeah,
so you have LeBron James, who has a Draymond Green on him. You can take Draymond Green off the dribble anytime you want. You're going to set a pick and roll and get Curry on you to take Curry off the dribble. And Draymond's there to challenge the shot. Won't you take Draymond off the dribble and Curry's back there challenging the shot?
Now, that makes sense. I mean, I had plenty of those questions, especially when KD's on him and KD's in foul trouble. KD picks up 2 quick fouls and you don't attack him to get a 3rd foul. It's just little things like that as me question the Cavaliers' game plan. But you brought up an interesting name, Kyrie Irving, of course. I mean, the elephants in the room when you have a superstar in last year's NBA Finals. Now he's a member of the Boston Celtics. During an interview with Rachel Nichols, LeBron James mentioned that he called Cavaliers ownership and said that they shouldn't do the trade. What do we make of that? Do you think LeBron James is just trying to save face now? What do we make of that?
I mean, who knows? I mean, but I believe LeBron. I believe LeBron on this one because he knows the players he needs, and he knows he knew he needed that guy to finish games for him.
Yeah.
And when they brought in Dwayne Wade and IT and Rose, it made sense. He's looking for a guy to replace Kyrie, which that team right now will be better in the playoffs. Because all the pieces he got back, they're not doing shit. They're worthless.
No. It sounds like revisionist history to me, where it's like, LeBron, real talk, had to have signed off on that trade. There's no way they would have brought that to him and, or not done the trade without his signing off. So to me, it just sounds like revisionist history where it's like, in retrospect now with everything, how it's played out, we should have kept Kyrie and I didn't really like the trade, blah, blah, blah. So I do have a bit of a tough time believing that real talk, LeBron was completely okay with that trade going down.
Yeah, something seems fishy.
I mean, he has to sign off because the motherfucker wants out.
Well, yeah. So it's like, And now that you desperately need him, it's showing up big time in the NBA Finals. Yes, you wish he was still there. So I don't completely buy into what LeBron says there.
Cody, we're glad that we have you on set today because we have a great segment here on Out of Bounds called Fire Fit, and during the NBA playoffs, we see a lot of fire fits. You mentioned the Cleveland Cavaliers and their suits and how they shouldn't give them to those role players, but we want to get into fire fits. 2 players in particular, friend of the show, non-friend of the show, as you say, friend of the show, Nick Young and LeBron James made some statements. First up, this is Fire Fit. So prior to Game 2 of the NBA Finals last night, friend of the show, Nick Young, paid homage to the We Believe Warriors from 2007 and rocked the Baron Davis jersey. So around the table, what are we rating this as far as Fire Fit? Caparell, what you going with?
2 fire emojis.
2 fire emojis?
I think this is weak from Nick. I want to see silk pajamas. I want to see flowing robes. I want to see your shoes. I want to see mismatch, things.
That shit was mismatched.
It was very mismatched.
But I want to see, egregiously mismatched.
Okay.
That's, mildly mismatched.
That's mildly, okay.
So I think Nick can step his game up. So for me, 2 fire emojis.
Cody, what you going with?
Give him a 3 just for the throwback jersey.
You going with 3 for the throwback jersey? Yeah. Okay.
I'm giving his ass a 0.
0.
One, because he called me and said, "Yo, I need your rookie jersey so I can wear it." And the fact
that would have been fire.
The fact that he has on his jersey instead of mine, fucking 0. Fuck him in that cheap ass outfit. That's what it is. Listen. It's cheap man wear.
Why is it
if you think about all his outfits, none of them cost more than $1,000.
Well, he's wearing shorts half the time. I can see that expensive.
None cost more than $1,000. It's affordable. It's affordable wear.
Cap, any of your outfits cost more than $1,000, brother?
No.
Yeah.
But as an NBA player, you would think.
That's a fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point.
He has the cheapest gear out there. He just mixes it and tries to confuse everybody with the shit he has on. Fucking hotel robe with some fucking silk pants, and we're like, oh shit, look at it. No, that's
only way that's happening is if I wear 5 John Elliott sweatshirts.
Right.
That's it.
I'm giving 1 fire emoji for that outfit, and not because the Baron Davis jersey is cool, but those orthopedic looking Dwight Adidas that he wore in the game, I can't rock with.
You know what that gets?
Hand wave.
Hand wave.
Yeah, hand wave. So next up we have LeBron James. They've worn their customary Tom Brown suits throughout the game. This was game 1. He wore the Tom Brown shorts with the suit and blazer. I believe ESPN had the total breakdown of his outfit being $45,000 for his game 1 fit. So this is game 2.
It's the bag. The bag
was $41,000. Yeah. But game 2 outfit, kind of the same, but has the hoodie underneath the Tom Brown suit, red socks, look like some Nike Air Force One highs, and some shorts. So, fellas, around the table again. Cap, what we going with? Fire
Scintillating 5 fire emojis.
5.
Because anytime you rock the Tom Brown suit, LeBron, you're going to get guaranteed 5 emojis from me. You look like a fucking G every single time. 5 fire emojis.
Sounded like an undercover cop just now. It's like a G.
I would give him 5 too. That fit was
5.
That was fire.
Okay, you gonna fade the public? What you?
No, I'm going to ask one question. Is Tom Brown like? Is this
Is he popping?
Is that like somebody?
It's fire.
That is legit high fashion.
Some good high fashion.
Oh, okay. So it's a name brand.
For sure, yes. New York designer, yes. Has his fashion shows in Paris.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
So he's coming back.
I don't wear suits.
Says the guy that bought eight helmet lengths.
I don't wear suits. Okay, well,
not even with shorts. You wouldn't wear them with shorts.
listen.
How much would you have to be paid?
You gotta cover up his 4.
I'll wear it.
Exactly.
I'll wear it. It looks nice. I like the suit. I was just wondering. You keep throwing Tom Brown suits on. Who the fuck is Tom Brown?
And he rocks with some Jordans, you know.
Yeah, right. So
It's okay. I'm 5.
All right, give it to him.
Okay. All right.
What are you giving?
I'm gonna fade the public. We'll go 4. I don't like the Red Sox.
Well, all right. So you're talking about the game 2 fit.
Game 2 fit. Yes.
The
Red Sox.
Because the game 1 fit was very traditional Tom Brown.
But
that was like traditional Tom Brown. The game 2 fit was a little bit of a swerve with the hoodie, and the sneakers, and the Red Sox.
If I'm picking between the two, I like game 2's fit more than I like game 1.
Because more contemporary.
Yeah, I didn't like the boots that he had with the game 1 fit. That wasn't really my steez, so I wasn't really rocking with that. But the game 2, I'm like, okay, I get it. But I like the bag more than anything else. The bag was
Socks makes you look at the socks. That's where the colored socks came from. Antoine Jameson is the one who started that.
Really?
Like he has all these suits, and then the socks was different colors where it made you like, yo, what kind of socks are those?
Are we talking like Steve Harvey suit, Antoine Jameson?
No,
okay.
Like 2007. It was like 2006, 7.
Okay.
Yeah, but you guys wore some baggy suits.
Y'all wore some baggy suits.
Not
Hey,
really.
Steve's got some new suits on. He's got the tailor.
Yeah, nowadays it's good. But I saw some of them old draft photos, and it was
one size fits all.
Yeah, looked like y'all are wearing drapes out there.
Those are some photos that need to be put in the fireplace.
Yeah, definitely. But throughout this NBA Finals, much has been made about LeBron's teammates and their showing up at the finals or lack thereof. And there's been a variety of different quotes of what it's like to play with LeBron James. One player in particular made a statement recently, and that was Rodney Hood, who spoke about the pressure and expectations that come with playing with LeBron James. Rodney Hood was traded at the deadline from the Utah Jazz to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he provided this quote as saying, "This is something different. It has been tough. The basketball stuff has been the easiest part. The stuff that comes out of it, you lose a game and everyone talks about it on TV the next day. They may say some things you may not agree with. If you win a game, you're supposed to. Those kind of things are something I kind of got out of a much smaller scale and dealt with at Duke. You lose a game and you feel like the world is coming down. You win, it's like you're supposed to win. It's still a struggle to me to adapt to that." Mind you, Rodney Hood is the same guy that refused to enter a game during this postseason, but, that wasn't brought up. So before we get into the statements that another player on the Cavaliers team made, Gil, what do you make about Rodney Hood's statements?
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. All right? I think your whole career was done when you decided not to go in the game, which we were on vacation a little bit. It was on our downtime when this happened, so we didn't get to talk about it.
But I will counter you by saying that he said that he didn't want to enter the game because he wanted other guys, other scrub players, or however you want to describe them, other guys further down the bench to get playing time.
But that other guy was a vet, Jose Calderon. I mean,
well, Rodney Hood should be getting more time than Jose Calderon.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, it's a privilege to get into an NBA game. I don't give a fuck who you think you are. If a coach puts you in for a minute, 1 second, I've been put in for 40 seconds before. I've gotten 3 shots out of that. Okay? We came in, it's our ball. I shot the ball. I somehow did a stupid foul.
You mean intentional?
Yeah, intentional foul, so they can oh, my bad, I thought we was fouling. Just to get the ball back again. That's what I did. I'm going to get my shots up. So the fact that all he cares about is point average, so when he goes into free agent, he can say, you know how that is. Not to go in the game, I already knew what was going to happen. Yeah, that motherfucker's never going to play again.
Yeah, he got some garbage time minutes during the final seconds of Game 2 last night. Cody, what do we make of Rodney Hood's statements? Are you buying that from him?
Not at all. I think that he's got to own up to it. Like I said, people would die to be in there and play. If you get 1 second, 40 seconds, go out there and make a play. Be aggressive, play hard.
It's a hell of a time to pick that. It's a lot of pressure to play with LeBron James. Like during the NBA Finals, in the midst of it, Cap, I think you had a great point prior to this. We were talking that players sometimes get in these media situations and just talk too much. Do you think that's what?
Yeah, I mean the NBA Finals is a media scrum and horde, and these guys are dealing with a ton of media in small confined areas, peppering them with questions in a very different environment than most guys are used to, especially Rodney Hood, who's not dealing with a ton of media requests on a daily basis. So sometimes a question can get these guys, kind of catch them off guard and produce answers like this. I think he's obviously saying some truth to the matter where it's like playing with LeBron is a completely different beast. And the ins and outs and all the ramifications and all the bullshit that you deal with on the outside can wear on guys. No doubt about that. But that being said, not the right time to say this and bring this up. This is just not the right, kind of try and bite your tongue here a little bit. But I'm not that surprised this spilled out during the NBA Finals.
But you're a media guy, so you already know how they ask a question.
Yes.
It ain't, just ask a question. How hard is it playing with LeBron James?
We saw that after game one with Mark Schwartz, the way he, which you can question his questioning of LeBron and how adamant he was trying to get the answer out of him. LeBron gave him attitude, appropriately or not. You can fall on both sides of the coin here. But yes, guys will ask certain pertinent questions trying to get specific answers out of guys, and sometimes they take the bait and run with it.
But here's the thing about the Rodney Hood situation. I can see like a one-off question, but there was a whole profile piece from Lee Jenkins of Sports Illustrated. Like, when Lee Jenkins is doing a whole profile on you, you've given him plenty of time to craft the article. Like, Rodney Hood even said that during the year I watched highlights of me in Utah to see how I played. So that's funny.
He lost his confidence.
But he was not the only player that had comments about what it's like to play with LeBron James and the pressure that comes with it. After game one's debacle involving J.R. Smith, he was obviously the topic of discussion, and he had this quote he provided: "It's a lot of pressure, not for myself or my teammates, but just playing on his team. It's a blessing and it's a gift and a curse. You play on his team and you're playing with the best player in the world, and you get to witness some great historic things and be a part of it. Then on the other side, if you don't help that person, they're looking at you too. So it's a lot of pressure depending on how you look at it." Gil, J.R. obviously seemed pretty distraught during that specific interview that he gave the comments about LeBron James, obviously with him being unaware of the time and then saying he was aware and everything going on after game one. What do you make of JR's comments? You buying it?
Listen, it's your third year with LeBron James?
Might be fourth.
And you're still on the fences of what to do. I mean, your whole game has changed since New York and Denver. You was a guy who drove to the basket, dunked on people. I mean, you're probably top 4 most athletic players in this series. But you will not look at the basket. You will not look to drive to the basket. You just want to sit there and chuck threes. And 90% of the threes he takes is always contested. So the chances of you actually succeeding is low. I mean, because it's not like you're a Klay Thompson type of shooter. You're a volume shooter, but all your volume shots are always contested. So, if you do have 16, most of your shots will look how Curry's last 3 shots look.
Contested
shot, and you're just on fire that game. But that comes around once every 20 games.
Cap, what do you think of Mr. Earl Smith Jr.'s comments?
My bias with JR's side. He makes this. Is there a lot of pressure, playing with LeBron? I think a ton. And a guy like JR doesn't always do himself favors with his erratic behavior on the court and how he goes about his business. So it's like he's a very easy guy to pinpoint stuff. And obviously we saw LeBron acting insanely frustrated with JR after game one, certainly deservedly so. And also other teammates in game 2. So yes, is there a lot of pressure playing with the best player in the game? 1,000,000%. But think about it.
Game one is not JR's fault.
I'm not talking about that right now.
No, we are, because the frustrations is not he was frustrated at JR. Like, you should be frustrated at your coaching staff too.
You can be frustrated at George Hill for missing a free throw too.
You can be frustrated at everyone.
You can be frustrated at the referees.
I don't
have love for fouling Steph Curry before all this stuff.
You can auto call a timeout. You've all heard of when a guy, if he misses 2 free throws, we're fouling.
Exactly.
And then it's an automatic foul, or we're calling timeout after this. So, you can automatically do that. So the fact that they didn't do it, it's a whole, what's the name? JR just, at this point, because of his shot selection and how he plays the game, he is not technically fit to be in this series as a starter. Sub him out, put Green in. Go big and more athletic. Green is not going to take wild, bad shots. JR can come in, sub in, no pressure to be the guy to be under LeBron's wing. Put Green in and just be big as hell out there.
But, I mean, speaking to the topic, though, about the pressure playing LeBron, haven't we seen time and time again that players who have played with major superstars, Kobe, MJ, whoever else you want to name, have felt pressure Kwame Brown, other teammates, with Jordan. Dwight Howard with Kobe. Haven't we seen that time and time again that these guys feel pressure performing with these superstars?
Because the superstars demand everyone works as hard as them. Mm-hmm. So if you're not working as hard as them, you should be. You're going to feel the pressure.
Yeah.
Like when I played, none of my players felt pressure. Antoine averaged 20. Karan averaged 19. Deshaun came over, averaged 12. Yeah. With we have 5 guys averaging double digits.
So you're saying when you were playing as a member of the Washington Wizards, none of your teammates felt the way Rodney Hood or John Smith
because everyone knew. Look, because we're working. Mm-hmm. We're all. If you're putting the work in, there's no pressure to fail or succeed because you've put the work in. So all you have to just go out there and execute the game plan. But if you're sitting there sleeping all day and not putting and then you go in there and you miss 5 shots and like, oh my God, it's so hard. Like yeah, motherfucker, you ain't shot. You ain't shot in 6 fucking days. You might as well shoot the shit with your left hand.
You don't have to worry about teammates.
Yeah, I know.
Look, he's like, I don't have to worry about none of this.
Like you said, putting the work in. Getting the reps in. Hitting this right hand 500 times, visualizing it, seeing you do it, put it in action. Practice it, and then you'll say, I'm going to knock this guy out the right hand. You've did 500, right hands. You visualize it. You've done it. You put the work in. Yeah. Like you said, you go out there and you just do it.
So something for you, you will do that. Like throw 500 punches. What's something that's like personal to yourself that you're like going all out?
For me, it's just showing up every day. The consistency, showing up every day, pushing yourself. Your work ethic's judged daily. So going, 3 practices this day, just getting it all in. And by the time the fight comes, you don't have those doubts. You don't have those what ifs. You put the work in. You go out there and just perform.
You said
if it's your night, it's your
3
night.
per day.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is your sparring partner very important to success?
Huge. I think that, you try to be the hardest worker in the room, pushing the pace, and everyone kind of, feeds off that energy and that vibe. So I like to push myself to where I feel like I'm going to die in there, pass out, knowing that you're probably not, but knowing that you can push yourself that hard.
Like Kobe Bryant?
Black out.
I get all the time my coach is telling me, hey, Cody, ease it up. I'm like, man, this guy's trying to take my head off. I'm just trying to, do the same.
Okay, so with a sparring partner, do you guys put like handicap rules on them? Because I remember Ronda Rousey, her sparring partner knocked her out twice, and they had to fire her. Said she was fucking up her confidence. And I'm like, that's the opposite. I would want her to keep knocking me the fuck out.
So you knock her out.
Until I learn how to beat her.
Right, I think that's a coaching problem, like an ego thing. They need that stroke. You're the greatest. You're good. You need those cheerleaders. I never need a cheerleader.
So it's like that alpha male conversation.
Yeah, alpha male thing. You have to be that alpha male to go out there and be like, all right, you get knocked out in practice. You put some ice on it, set out a week, make sure you're not dizzy, come back the next day and go again. Every day, for me, going into practice, I have an X on my back. I'm a former champion fighting for the title again. So everyone comes from all over the world, they try to take me out or try to get like, I sub Cody or I hit it. You know what I mean? So I got to bring my A game that brings me to show up every day and give 110%,
I love the push. That's what you have to do. Is you're going to get tested every day by outsiders who have different styles that you've probably never seen before, and you get to adapt it. You get to learn. So when you are fighting someone, it becomes easier.
You said something that was interesting to me. I mentioned the Rodney Hood watching his old Utah highlights. You said he lost his confidence. What makes you say that?
Because you got to watch. He's watching himself succeed.
Okay.
So if you're going there watching how you used to play, that means obviously you haven't been seeing it. As of late. That's what I'm saying. It's work ethic, man. These guys don't have the work ethic. Like 4 years, J.R. Smith, Kevin Love, you guys know your role. You're shooting jump shots off of LeBron's, your whole fucking team should be a whole bunch of Klay Thompsons then. Like, we should be looking at you guys like, oh, these motherfuckers not going to miss.
Yeah.
So what else you doing with the rest of your year? 500 shots, 300 shots, like, practice that shit. Like, Jason Richardson came into this league, couldn't shoot a gun. Come on, let's be honest. Couldn't shoot a gun. He became a deadly three-point shooter.
Yeah.
Because he put the work in.
Yeah, it's the name of the game. Just put the work in.
J.R. Smith, if you shoot 500 shots tomorrow and the next day, that's 1,000 shots.
Yeah.
I guarantee you hit 4 threes next game.
They need it.
They need it bad
All right.
at this point. Cody's like, hey.
That's we'll take that in a heartbeat.
Look, they should be shooting. This is the fucking 500 shots a day in the playoffs. Ain't no days off. You don't need no rest.
Yeah.
We got to bring Gil in. If you guys listen, we got to bring Gil in for the rest of this.
Bring Gil in.
Make him an assistant with the Cavaliers. Yeah.
Assistant coach.
I be throwing soup at the coaches. Fuck y'all doing? Fuck y'all doing? Y'all should be out here working these guys.
All right, switching gears here. We've talked about the best player in the world plenty today, and that's LeBron. But time to switch it up and talk about the second best player in the world, that's KD. And over the weekend, we learned that Kevin Durant apparently needed validation from his Golden State teammates before signing with them. We'll discuss in the step back. All right, so in an oral history of the Hamptons Five, again, the worst nickname for a starting five in NBA history.
Horrible. When
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Andre Iguodala convinced Kevin Durant to join the Warriors a couple years ago, KD revealed to The Athletic that peer validation was a huge part of convincing him to move to the Bay. So KD and others told Kim Kawakami of The Athletic that KD sought positive reinforcement that the, quote, best team in the league, some of the best players, most accomplished players, want me on their team, unquote. KD has said, and the full quote here is, quote, at the time of my career, I didn't know how other people felt about my game, and I know that I was pretty damn good, and I knew I worked extremely hard, but I needed that validation from my peers and teams and GMs, people that are really into the game, to really help me feel good about myself and help me feel confident and let me know that what I was doing was working. Guys, what does this say about Kevin Durant's ego that, again, despite the fact that he is widely considered one of the top 2, if not 3, but certainly top 5 players in the game, that he needed that much validation to sign with the Warriors?
Couple questions to unpack here, especially with this quote. So he says the best team in the league. This is the same team that he took to 7 games with Russell Westbrook. And he says
a 3-1 lead.
3-1 lead, right? And said some of the best players saying that he's a great player in that validation. At that point in his career, he's played with the likes of James Harden, Reggie Jackson, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka. He's won MVP in 2014. What other validation do you need? So why are you looking for these guys' validation? If they just want you to sign on the team, they can lie and say, yeah, you're great. I love you. You sign, it's whatever.
He's one of 3 guys that has a signature sneaker for Nike. It's like, what more
validation?
I mean, there's a million examples that you are up here above.
You guys don't get it.
What we missing?
Every superstar is not an alpha male. Every superstar doesn't have an alpha male personality. So when you see young Westbrook and they interview him, say, Kevin Durant is an MVP at this point and the leading scorer in the NBA, and they say, Westbrook, who's the best player? Me. Because he knows this guy is not an alpha male. I'm the best. The reason he scores is because I give him the ball. Because everyone's crowding on me and he gets open shots. So the validation didn't come from the alpha male. So, you know, when you're Kevin Durant, you're this great scorer, you're this great player, and you're looking for validation from teammates. So if your teammates is looking like, oh, he's not the man, he don't take big shots, like you lose it. So when the championship team comes to you and say, oh yeah, we need your talent, we need this, and they're jacking him off, and that's what he wanted. They have an alpha male in there that wants him, and that's what it was. It was Draymond Green, the Curry, Draymond Green, the alpha male in the locker room, wants me to be a part of this team.
You're so eloquent with the phrases, by the way.
Very, very eloquent. Yeah. Wait, I can't put in those quiet terms, but yes.
I'm just saying, that's all it is.
Very true.
I'm playing with his ego stroke.
Okay, but let me ask a follow-up here. How many superstars in the NBA, either now or back in your day, were not true alpha males?
There's a lot.
Is it a lot?
A lot of that. Name somebody.
So obviously the Kobe Bryants and
of course alpha male.
Is a Vince Carter an alpha male?
Kevin Garnett.
Kinda.
Tracy McGrady.
Okay, no.
Is a Tracy McGrady an alpha?
So like Shaq and Kobe, you can see the alpha male. See, we see one as the best player, the most dominant, the most outspoken. But if the alpha male doesn't respect you, y'all gonna buck.
Okay.
And who needed the more validation than other?
Shaq needed it.
That's a good point.
Damn.
But in your business, everyone's an alpha male, I assume, right?
Not really.
Can you tell who's not an alpha male?
Definitely. Yeah.
How?
I mean, just to lead up to the fight, like we said, pre-fight, media, when you're staring in their eyes. That's what I'm saying. We get to, get face to face with someone and feel the energy. And you can feel some energy off someone if they're scared or they're ready to go. So
you can tell they're fake right away.
Yeah, exactly. When the eyes don't lie, you know, eyes do not lie. So when you see someone staring back at you like with the same, you know, fierceness that you're staring, you know it's going to be a war the next night.
So for most teams, the alpha male is not necessarily the superstar.
No, not all the time. Like that's what I said. Like we all know who the alpha male is on Golden State.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Draymond. He's the personality. He's the one who keeps the what's the name going.
What about a guy that is slated to be the league MVP this year, James Harden?
He's not up.
No?
Chris is the alpha male.
Chris is the alpha male. That's what I'm saying. It's like, but that's always been the biggest thing. It's like, you know, like we always look at the superstars as, you know, these alpha males of the locker room and this and this. No, some of your superstars are just not alpha males, and they need an alpha male to get them going.
Yeah. All right, but even if you're an alpha male, and we could probably classify you two as alpha males, how much validation do you guys need as athletes? Do you need constant validation? Yeah.
Alpha males,
you don't need them.
You don't need because you already know you're the shit.
Yeah.
Well, he got 4 tattoos of himself. So
like, that's what I'm saying. You know you're the guy, so you don't need the.
He's wearing a T-shirt with himself on.
You always been the guy, so it's like, I don't need that.
Yeah, my validation comes with I just bust your ass by 50. Like I don't need you to say, oh yeah, you did a great job today. Like we need more.
I also imagine the validation comes in the money you make too.
That too. Oh yeah.
But even before alpha male already knows he's gonna get that.
Get the money.
Because what he's doing, like I'm knocking motherfuckers out.
I'm getting the bonuses. Knockout bonuses.
I'm getting knockout bonuses.
I mean, it's an interesting fact when you think about it and you start looking at scenarios of teams breaking up early. And like you mentioned, if the alpha male of that team is getting into it with the person that thinks they're the alpha male of their team, we see great dynasties in pretty early. And we've seen time and time again where Draymond Green and Kevin Durant are getting into it.
And you see who backs down. But like that's what I said. Like if the biggest thing was if you look how Shaq was so dominant, but he wasn't alpha male. He got ran out of. He left Orlando because Penny had the biggest name.
Yeah,
he leaves, and then a young Kobe is like, hey, y'all got to make a decision. It's me or him.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's one of those things. And then when, you know, he gets to Dwayne Wade didn't hit alpha yet.
Right.
So, like, Shaq has the locker room, but once Flash became Flash, it's like.
Well, let's ask this question, and I'm curious with a guy that's a high native in the building, is LeBron a type of alpha male? Because we've heard this narrative time and time again, but looking at how he's playing in this finals, and since he's returned to Cleveland, he's that dominant force, and I think he's kind of developed that personality over his career.
Like, you either have it or you don't. Compared to the greats of Michael Jordan and Kobe, he wouldn't be an alpha male.
Well, those are different.
No, I'm just saying mentality. Mentality. Yeah. So when you say alpha male, you're talking about Jay-Z, you're talking about Tiger Woods, Mayweather, you know, Jordan. Like, look at how they carry themselves. Egotistic, Tom Brady. Yeah. Like, those are, you can tell who the alpha is. LeBron is more, he's more laid back. Like, an alpha male would have gave up on the whole fucking roster. like Kobe would have, fuck that, I'm shooting 70 shots. All right? None of you motherfuckers shoot.
Right.
And that's what it did. He's more.
If an alpha male is looking for validation from his peers.
Alpha male doesn't look for validation.
All right, so let me rephrase it. Then if a non-alpha male is looking for validation and he doesn't get it from his peers, as an athlete, how devastating is that?
For a alpha male, it definitely shoots his, confidence down. Yeah. Like you looking for all these validations and no one, pats your back or strokes you or jerks you off, you're not going to get anything.
Yeah.
That's what they need. They need the validation. They need the validation to make them play better.
Does that come from the coach or the players more? Is that more the coach's job, though? I mean, to validate the players?
No, because the coach is not out there playing. It's more of a player to player. So
peers,
if the alpha male, if Draymond Green is like, yeah, y'all doing good, keep shooting this and this and this, y'all playing well, those guys.
But would you respect your teammate less if you can tell that he is this great player looking for validation from you?
Depends on who you are.
Okay.
It all depends on who you are.
Yeah.
But have you noticed, like, Draymond Green doesn't really give out compliments to any other player?
No,
because he's talking shit to all of them.
Yeah, that's what that's like when he was talking shit to Pierce.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce. They don't respect you. Like, that's him.
They don't love you like that.
They don't love you like that. Like, he's just that's who he is. He's an alpha male that just doesn't give out compliments. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But he'll stroke his teammates. Because he knows he needs to stroke them.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I said, that he needs to stroke them to get them to play to his level because he can't. He can't go out there and score 30, 40, 50. So he
gives them that energy.
He gives them that energy.
Okay. So you think LeBron needs to do that in the next, couple games, the series? What can he do more besides what he's doing? He has to have his team rally around.
There's only so much you can stroke people who just don't have the confidence.
You can't spend the energy on
I know he can't spend the energy because if he spends the energy giving it to them, he won't have none for himself.
This is one thing to give Kevin Durant some energy, and he can go out there and drop 50 at any time.
Giving George Hill, George Hill, you the man, baby. You're going to go from 10 to 14.
They need all the help they can get.
You try. I'm not going to ever give up on J.R. and you pass him the ball, and it just.
Yeah.
That's self-confidence right there. You just.
Yep, you have it. You don't.
Your Cavs win Game 3?
Definitely.
Definitely?
By 10.
By 10?
By 10.
Wow.
Oh, so covering the 4.5 spread.
They're playing in the land, man.
They're playing in the land.
You got to get the momentum. He's got to master.
You sure it's not chops right here? It might be chops.
No, he come on the land. They're going to be at the Marriott. They're going to get food poisoned. I mean,
we have spiked waters.
Yeah, they're going to spike water.
We have a fellow complex employee that's a Cleveland zealot that we have to kind of rein in every once in a while.
Yeah.
You kind of sound like
just got to let him live.
Yeah. What did Chop say? They got rid of Kyrie's bad energy?
Yeah. You're going to blame everything but the Cavs roster.
Exactly.
The Kardashians coming with Thompson.
There's so much going on.
Here comes a shit show.
But Cody, we thank you for joining us here on Out of Bounds. Once again, your book can be found where all books are sold. It's the title, The Pack, a UFC
You mean the
champion.
Fucking store?
That's
fucking where?
You can't go to
the library. Where do we buy Amazon?
Airport,
every airport, LAX airport,
everywhere.
I think it there.
Where books are sold. The title, The Pack, a UFC champion, a boy with cancer, and their promise to win the ultimate battle. Again, in stores now. Cody, we appreciate you stopping by Out of Bounds. For Adam Caparell, Cody Garbrandt, Gilbert Arenas, I'm Pierce Simpson. We'll see you tomorrow. This is Out of Bounds.
Someone runs the pain on you.
So the thigh is the worst part to get kicked in.
Man, someone puts that shin bone
like a dead leg or something like
on
that?
your muscle.
Yeah.
I think the worst part is getting kicked on the side of the calf. Some of those low kicks, everyone's like, man, he's throwing those sissy ass kicks.
Why does that debilitate you? Like you can't use the leg?
And you can't move. Like everything you spring off. You're like, oh, that shit's getting welded up. He's fighting 25 minutes. By the time the minute goes in, the adrenaline wears out. You gotta balance it out. So I think the side of the calf is getting kicked right there.
So you try to do that on opponents though?
I used to a lot. used to kick them a lot there, but I always believe in my hands. I'd rather think about this. I'm throwing a kick at, and my hands right here. I can, I'm hitting the hands. You know what I mean? The hands are right there. The kick.
So after fights, do y'all have to check in hospitals? Is that how that works?
I mean, after my when I won the title, I tore my knee. Yeah, so I had to I had actually got cut the first time. I had stitches. Got cut in the first round. I was beat up, man. I had to for about 3 days. I was laying there in bed like this.
Couldn't do that.
Yeah, but I was the champ. So I was like,
you got the belt in the check. That's all that matters.
The belt in the